Yo, what is up, family? Billy back with another Chicago Sports Paradise video. Today we're going to be discussing the Chicago Bears a little bit. So I just got two words. Well, three words. Andy freaking Dalton. You kidding me? Alright, that was like 6 words, but for real? Andy Dalton. You're going to pick up Andy Dalton for $10 million, $13 million. I'm pretty sure, believe it was 13. 1 year for $13 million. I don't know, man. I think you got a better chance winning with Mitch. You know, Mitch actually has a winning record. I believe Andy Dalton was 4-5 last year with the Cowboys, which isn't a horrible record, but it's not gonna get us anywhere. Well, we were all in on Russell Wilson. Got our hopes up and everything. Bears fans were, oh my God, now we're finally going to have a franchise quarterback. And it still might happen. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but I mean, it's still possible. You know, Russell doesn't really want to be in Seattle. At least it seems like it. And I don't know, we've been taking back and forth moves. Like, we missed on Russell Wilson so far. We got Andy Dalton. Okay, that's worse than back in 2010, 2011 when the Bulls were going for LeBron. We whiffed on LeBron and got Carlos Boozer instead. Like, this is worse than that. This is multiple times worse than that. That would have been like if we were going for LeBron and we got, I don't even know, Sam Bowie instead. Like, it was trash, man. And Andy Dalton is obviously a journeyman in the NFL. So he has experience. You know, he has experience. He can win games. So, like, all right, I give him that. You put any NFL quarterback behind a stout offensive line and along with good wide receivers, good tight ends, I think you got a chance. You know, as long as you give the wide receivers times enough to run routes and lose the defensive backs, right? Which isn't too hard. Like, that's wide open for an NFL receiver. You know what I mean? So they don't need much time, and if the O-line can block for them, quarterback's pretty much interchangeable. I mean, if the quarterback can just sit back there and basically scan the field and read the field, you got time for the wide receivers to run away from their defenders. Or the same thing with tight ends, you know? Or if you got a good enough O-line to block for the running back to get average 4 yards a carry, you know? Average 4 yards a carry, first down, second down, third down, and then you got a first. You know, so it's not like we don't necessarily need a Russell Wilson, a superstar quarterback. Like, it'd be very, very nice. But I don't think we need one. We just need what we've always had, just like a serviceable quarterback, you know? Which Andy Dalton could be that. We need to make some improvements in other facets of the team for sure. I heard this morning via my fellow YouTuber Five Sports. He reported that the Bears are seriously considering Kenny Golladay at wide receiver, which, I mean, you put Kenny Golladay next to Allen Robinson, there's a duo right there. You know, you got a duo, and then you got Darnell Mooney. That's a at the very least a decent core of wide receivers. Right, so you got a decent core of wide receivers. We got a Cole Kmet looks like a very serviceable tight end. And as long as you got good tight end play, you straight. That's your, I mean, that's always gonna be intermediate to, close range, passing game. I mean, of course, you can run a seam route and hit the tight end for 30, 40 yards. But, I mean, that's your security blanket, you know? That's going to be our guy to say, okay, if the O-line does let someone creep through, bam, he should be open on 3 to 5 yards. 3 to 5 yards, 3 to 7 yards every time. So, all right, our offense, like, you shore up the offensive line. I think our offense is pretty set. I think along, just like defense, right? You get the line right, you're good. If you get front four on the defensive side that can get pressure with just them four, it makes everybody else's job easier. So if you have an O-line that can protect the quarterback and block for the running back, I mean, that's the dream, right? That's what you want. You want somebody that could pass protect, or you want a line that can pass protect and also run block. So it's not, so I'm asking a lot, right? But I mean, what else can you ask as a football fan? You know, you don't want your team to be mediocre, right? And it seems like we're headed towards, like, for example, last year, right? Last year we had, I'm not a huge Kyle Fuller fan, even though I know he's been to the Pro Bowl a couple times. I'm not a huge Kyle Fuller fan. So when word came out that we released him, I wasn't heartbroken. You know, I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Obviously, there's going to be a difference between a Jalen Ramsey and any old dude out of the Florida State locker room. There's going to be a difference between those two cornerbacks. But to me, Kyle Fuller didn't have those intangibles. You know, he wasn't super fast. And of course, that's relative because, I mean, who am I to talk about that? But when it comes to NFL cornerbacks, I don't think he was exceptionally quick. I don't think he was extraordinarily fast. I don't think he had great ball skills. I think he was just a serviceable cornerback on a defense that had great blitzers and an awesome defensive end. A great nose tackle, except for last year. Eddie Goldman was out. But, like, he wasn't, I don't know. Kyle Fuller just wasn't all that to me. So, when we released him, okay, all right. Like, if we could get a decent cornerback in this draft, we could pair Jalen Johnson with him, and our cornerback room is set up, right? We already have a free safety in Eddie Jackson, right? That's back there. Last year, nobody really had a good year on the Bears. But, so last year, Eddie Jackson had a down year. You expect him to come back and have a big year. So then we got to shore up that strong safety. But news that I was heartbreaking about was they're allowing Akiem Hicks to evaluate trade offers, to request a trade offer, which was, oh man, that's horrible to me, man. That's the heart of our defense. Right there, that's the heart of our defense. Him and Eddie Goldman put together, man. You got him and Eddie Goldman in the front, and then you got Khalil Mack coming off the end. That was a recipe for success, and we just couldn't find it. So I don't know. When we got Andy Dalton, and then I heard that we got rid of Kyle Fuller, and we're looking to get rid of Akiem Hicks, I'm thinking, oh, rebuild. And then I hear this morning that we're looking at Kenny Golladay. So it's like, are we rebuilding? Or are we just trying to make the offense look as good as we can make it so we can still have a shot at Russell Wilson? Yo, I don't know what we're doing, but I don't have any power over it. So I could sit here and say I don't like it all I want, and I don't. I'm pretty sure most Bears fans don't either. But what are you gonna do? You know, you can go on their website and type a little blog, or go on their Facebook page and type a little, post a message or something. You know, you can do those little things, but I don't think it's gonna change anything that's in their mind. So I don't know. It's kind of like when we were in the army, and you weren't really allowed to ask questions because from the worker's perspective, it's harder to see the big picture, right? So I'm kind of leaning on that. Like, okay, maybe I don't see the big picture. Maybe I don't see the fact that Russell Wilson's still available for trade. Our team just has to look better. Kenny Golladay could be one of those weapons that we're getting. Like, I would have been straight with 5 first-round draft picks. Cool, give it to him. Give us our franchise quarterback. But that's not what happened. I don't know. Hopefully next video I got better news for y'all. But yeah, anybody like, comment, let's start a conversation. Everybody share with your friends. Let's get it going, all right? Let's get this channel moving, right? It's free agency, so things are happening like this and that. So turn on your notifications so you hear the bell, bing, when one of my videos pop up, so you can see any new Bears news. If you don't see your Bears news anywhere else, come here and I'll give you the latest that I know, all right? Thank you. Go Bears.